Well, this is what we're looking at today, serving like the master. And I want to start off with one of these jumpers. Now, when I was a kid, I was growing up in the 1990s, everyone wanted to have one of these jumpers. I don't know, did anyone here have one? A boss jumper, yeah? I really wanted to have one. I was never cool enough to pull it off. I think this reflects how we like to think of ourselves, right? We like to walk around and think that in some way we're the boss. No one wants to be at the bottom of the pile. All of us like to think that we're moving up and maybe we'll reach the top one day. None of us like being told what to do. Maybe you don't mind it so much at work. You know, sometimes it's nice to go and just be told a load of jobs and you just do them, isn't it? But actually most of us probably think we'd like to be working up so that we're the ones giving the instructions rather than the ones being told what to do. Certainly in our private lives, we like to be the boss, don't we? We like to spend what money we've got and make choices. We like to decide how we live our lives, where we go on holiday, what we do with our leisure time. We like to be the boss. Just imagine for a moment if that jumper said, servant. Do you think they'd have sold as many as they did? We're in a society that tells us it's good to be the boss, it's good to be the man in charge, to take charge of others. In this passage, Jesus takes off his boss jumper. Jesus was the master. It acknowledges that at the beginning. It says he knew the time was come for him to leave the world to go to the Father. He knew this. He says, you call me master, and rightly so, for that is what I am. So Jesus is the boss, and he knows that he's the boss. And yet he takes off his boss jumper. He would have taken off his rabbi clothes. You'd have been able to tell that Jesus was a rabbi from what he was wearing. He takes off that, hangs it up. He's wearing underneath just a simple tunic, working man's clothes. He then puts a towel around his waist, which is what the lowest of the servants would have done. And he gets down on his hands and knees and basically crawls around his disciples, washing their feet. Can you imagine how shocking that would have been? Can you imagine if you were sitting there as one of the disciples and Jesus is on the floor in front of you, kneeling down and offering to wash your feet? It all gets a bit much for Peter, doesn't it? He can't cope. Imagine the scene. He's moving around, he washes Matthew's feet, and Matthew's kind of sitting there awkwardly, and everyone's sort of looking askance, don't really know what to do. Then he moves on to Philip, and then he moves on to Bartholomew, and finally he comes up to Peter. And Peter's not a man who can remain quiet. And he blurts out, are you going to wash my feet too? No, you're not going to wash my feet. Jesus says, well, I have to wash you. If I don't wash you, you have no part in me. Then Peter, being Peter, overcompensates. All right then, not just my feet, do the whole of me. And Jesus tells Peter, you don't need a bath, but you do need to have your feet washed. You do need that. And I wonder why. And the truth is, I think, that Peter needed a lesson. He didn't need a bath. Jesus had already cleansed him of his sin. But he did need a lesson in dependence upon Jesus and on what Jesus needs to do for us. And we need that lesson too, if we're Christians. We need this lesson of coming back to what Jesus needs to do for us. So I've got three things really that I think we need to learn from this passage. The first is, and it's quite shocking, we need Jesus to serve us. That's maybe not what you thought you'd hear when you came to church. You probably thought you were going to be told we need to serve Jesus. Actually, what this passage says is we need Jesus to serve us.